Hello everybody, and welcome back to Rain Check. Where, where were we again? Javier's place. Right? Yes. I think that's what it was. It's been a minute since I've recorded, okay? Okay, I took a little break. Just took a little break. It's fine. It's fine. We will figure this out. The fox leads us to his unit and steps in. And stepping in, I notice just how low everything is, because he's a little guy. Everything is neatly organized and feels like I stepped into a library with how many bookshelves there are. Huh, that's odd. I don't really smell anything in here. You can put the bag over there. The fox indicates a small table in the living room, and it's actually the only available spot to place anything. Ro enters last behind me, emphasizing just how tall he truly is. If you could follow me to this room, I'd like to show you some of the findings I processed. Please don't touch anything inside. The fox guides us to a small room where a long table is set up with various equipment and lights mounted on top. Huh? Oh, excuse me. This setup almost looks like the lab rooms we passed by the power plant. Jeez, I wonder how much Javier makes to afford such a place. I captured some pictures of the area when I infiltrated the back, just for documentation, but didn't capture anything of interest. The fox points to a laptop at the end of the table and lets out a disappointed sigh. And I've spent most of the night trying to recover the data that we captured at the server room, but haven't gotten much luck. It's mostly corrupted, and the parts that aren't don't contain any valuable information. How significant do you think the data would be if I recovered it? Oh, if recovered. It depends, but after that whole ordeal, I would bet it's pretty significant if they're trying to get it to back it up. I'm asking because we don't have an unlimited amount of time with Theodore. If the data significance is low, I suggest we prioritize the other leads. A fair point, but I've already managed to process most of the other things we've collected. The fox grips a small black light and uses it to illuminate the knife on the table, the very one that was used by the snow leopard. Sections of the knife begin to take on a ghostly blue hue. Oh, here, let me change it. Sorry. my mic wasn't fully whatever. I don't know. So things, equipment. Do I know how it works? Not at all. You see that glow by the hilt? That's ironic. Wait, it's iconic, not ironic. Damn it. That's iconic to the knife's manufacture in Southeast Asia, which, may I remind you, are banned here. You don't think they smuggled that in? They definitely did. No one smuggles just one knife. They must be importing contraband in the masses. Now, if only we knew from who. Regardless, I succeeded in obtaining paw prints from the blade and managed to obtain a single, distinct set of prints. The fox turns off the blacklight and guides our attention to the redacted, crumpled pieces of paper next to the knife. Which leads me to this. All right, and what did you find out about it? Not much, admittedly. I'm still trying to figure out how to handle the redactions, but I've managed to lift some paw prints from this too. Did it match the ones found on the knife? Yes, almost perfectly, but there are another set that I can't identify. There were mine, Rose, and the snow leopards on the paper, which was expected. But there was one where I couldn't obtain a clear lift. Yet, it's undeniably distinct. It's easily distinguishable even if the prints were somewhat obscured. We saw other people there when we were trying to save Monty. Maybe it belonged to one of them. Maybe, but I don't think a grunt would be permitted to handle something as sensitive as this, even if it was suggested by the incinerate. To be incinerated, yes. So, there's someone else working with the snow leopard. Someone in Blackout? It's all speculation right now, but I'm hoping more will be revealed when I eventually dissolve the redactions. As a side note, I couldn't find anything when I searched online for Blackout, or any information connecting a snow leopard to the power plant. Hard to tell what they look like, when they're wearing the damn mask. Wait, and how do we explain what happened at the power plant? When we arrived, it looked like everyone just vanished on the spot. Javier stares intently at the laptop and nods. Yes, about that. We don't have a concrete explanation right now, but I do have a strong theory. Nobody just disappears like this, unless they have a good reason to. In this case, it seems like they were fleeing. Yeah, they were fleeing, not fleeting. Fleeing from something or someone. Right, and if they were that imposing already as a gang, it would have been something serious. What about the police? This is certainly a possibility, but if it were the case, it would explain why the area wasn't sealed off, or why there wasn't any police activity when we arrived. So? What could threaten a criminal network other than another criminal network? It's not uncommon for multiple gangs to fill the streets and have their own conflict between them, but it certainly is alarming if so. I see. What about the sigil Lawrence showed us? What's that about? I don't know. He had said it was included in the data I requested, but I couldn't find anything on it yet. Speaking of which, what about the data itself? You never did tell me how that was going. I admit, I only spent a few days parsing through the data, but everything seems to be in order. Show me. I'm curious to read over the files. Is it okay for me to ask what the data's about? The fox sighs and gestures to the room across from us. I haven't transferred it over to my laptop yet, but I suppose I can show you guys in my room. We get to see his bedroom? This should be fun. Rose smirks at me, but I return a puzzled look, not understanding what's being referred to. Shut it. Do you want to see it or not? What is this little room with all these airplane models? Look at that gamer setup. Are those extra screens by the laptop? What a battle station. What a gamer chair. We love to see it. Javier unlocks the largest door across the hall, revealing an immaculately looking bedroom adorned with multiple display cases showing off model airplanes. Whoa. That's a lot. How many are there? 178 to be exact. That's 4 more than the last time I came over. Please be careful where you sway your tail. These models are extremely fragile. Is this where you do your work? I point towards the table in the corner of the room, where there's a large PC setup with multiple monitors attached to the wall and the table. Yes, I spend most of my time analyzing data here. What I don't get is why you need 5 monitors to watch porn. But you could watch so many porns at the same time, Ro. Come on. The fox gives a look of disapproval at Ro. Speak for yourself. Javier hops on his chair, which makes him appear even shorter than he already is, and logs onto his computer. What a little lad. A series of flashes appear simultaneously on the monitor, and then he clicks around, opening up a small window containing hundreds of folders. Normally, I wouldn't be so open sharing files like this. Nevertheless, there's a folder I'd like to bring to your attention. The fox opens up the labeled folder. ARC_C614_2. Is that what that's called, an underscore? I hope it is. Otherwise, I sound insane. but I've heard that term before, so we'll just keep reading and nod along as if I know what I'm doing. Another window pops up, but it's completely empty, causing Javier to stare blankly at the screen. Huh? Ro leans in and shakes his head, clearly perplexed by what he's seeing.
Oh, where's the data file?
Javier opens up a terminal, his paw flying across the keyboard as he tries a series of commands. He then shakes his head, a look of frustration crossing his face. It's missing. But, C614_1 and C614_3 are present and available.
Sorry, what's missing? And what does 1 and 3 mean?
C614 is the number of cases and the information and data gathered and organized into days.
So day 2 is missing. But I've never seen data just go missing. It's always deleted. Didn't Lawrence give us the data? Maybe we could ask him about it.
Ro scoffs and sneers at us.
Maybe we could ask him why he deleted it.
Let's not jump to conclusions just yet. I swore the data file was there when I deciphered it, decrypted it. I wonder. The fox frantically resumes typing, my eyes captivated with just how fast he can type. Press the keys. I'm pretty slow in typing, guys. I would probably be amazed as well. I glance over at Ro, his attention fully absorbed by the screen, where several loading bars appear and disappear intermittently. Several moments go by before Javier finally stops and turns around to look at us. Sorry. Strange?
Good strange or bad strange?
The last identified data from the original decrypted data was over 2 years ago.
So someone deleted it then?
It would appear so. Which means Lawrence couldn't have done it, even if you wanted him to, Ro.
Huh. Even if day 2 is gone, we still have day 1 and day 3, right?
Yes, we do. But they're not nearly as important.
Pull them up. We don't have much of a choice now.
Javier complies and opens up the 2 folders, each containing their respective data files. Ro and I start to skim through the contents of the files as Javier opens and expands them on his screen.
Huh. So, if I understand what I read, day 1 was mainly the discovery of the fire at the harbor, and day 3 was collecting evidence.
It would appear so.
Sorry, I'm still confused. Where did this information come from? I thought you guys already knew about this. This data was requested straight from the police department that conducted their own investigation at the time. The files that we have are at ARC are compiled from news articles and third-party outlets, our own research.
Yes, and on rare occasions, we're approved, yes, access to government documents through the Freedom of Information Act.
Wait, doesn't that mean...
I watch the 2 men closely, noticing their expressions change as they seem to be figuring something out that I'm not quite grasping. How interesting. Yes, it would appear so. Ro chuckles as he sits down on Javier's bed.
I'm so lost. What do you mean?
I stop and stare at the 2 men as things click in my head.
Wait, the information was from the police station. And if we didn't delete it, then they must have?
Correct. That is highly likely. Although you're missing a small but crucial step. The local government mandates the release of the information to us, and it's unclear whether the government requested the police to delete it, or if the police did it of their own.
I wonder why they're trying to hide the contents of day 2. If I remember correctly, it was the day the survivor allegedly came out to make some statements. But what happened?
Wouldn't we like to know? We're not sure what happened to them, or what kind of statement they made. Or even what they truly look like.
It sounds like there was a massive cover-up, but I don't understand why. Were they being protected or being silenced?
Those are the same questions I have, but we need more leads.
Well, it looks like you have some important phone calls to make, don't you?
Javier expresses his annoyance with a shake of his hand. Fine. You two get out of my room. I need to focus. Ro gets up, pats me on the back, gesturing me towards the door. Please, try to keep things clean. And don't even think about doing anything lewd. I'm serious, I just cleaned. But Javier.
Yeah.
Look, there's a perfectly fine couch for things.
So what's the plan now? How about some food?
We get to go over to his kitchen. Is everything in the kitchen like 1 foot shorter than it normally is? Does Ro have to bend over to use things like the counter? These are the questions that I have. Ro makes his way to Javier's pantry, pulling out some bread and throws it in a nearby toaster. I walk over and perch on a small bar stool situated just across the kitchen counter, observing Ro as he ransacks Javier's kitchen.
Are we allowed to just take food like this? What's he gonna do? It's just toast.
He makes a good point. I don't think Javier would mind, right?
Okay, I'll have a slice.
Ro gives me an approving grin and waits by the toaster as he stares back at Javier's room.
Oh, well, what do you think of Javier's place? Cozy enough for you? I think we're too big. I can barely fit on this stool. That's Javier for you. Hope it doesn't bother you too much, because he's most likely going to ask you to stay here with him. Oh? We need to keep an eye on you, and he's the most skeptical of you, so... Oh, I wouldn't mind. I actually kind of like talking with Javier.
Ro playfully laughs at me and gives me a look.
You should say that in front of him. What? Why? He'll freeze up with embarrassment. Oh, would he really? He doesn't seem like the type to be embarrassed.
Wait, now that I think about it, what even is Javier's type? I don't know much about him.
Actually, could you tell me a bit about Javier? Interested in the fox.
I roll my eyes at Ro's playful jest.
Not like that. I just realized I just don't know much about Javier. Or you, for that matter. How did you guys come to join ARC?
The toast clicks and the wolf passes me a slice of toast. Oh, excuse me. As he devours his in a single bite. Is the bread also slightly smaller? These are the questions that I think about.
Personally, I don't know much about Javier either. Never cared to ask. Really? But you guys work together, right? He stays out of my business, I stay out of his. There's not much you probably don't already know. He mentioned to me before he's from Mexico. Yeah, makes sense. I could pick up his slight accent. Right. And as for ARC, well, I joined a couple of years ago. A few months before the harbor fire. Javier was already working there for a couple of weeks before me. An accountant of all things. He was hired as an accountant at ARC? At least that's what people told me. What can he not do? Physical labor. He's pretty weak. Some kind of medical condition. Oh, right. He was struggling to carry those supplies from Dust earlier. And what about you?
Tell us about yourself, Ro. Tell me about yourself.
I was hired to do some investigations, mainly fieldwork. At some point, we were short on hand, and I needed someone to come along with me for a case. Our boss assigned Javier with me since he was the only one available. After seeing the results we brought back, we ended up officially working together for most investigations. Wow, what did you guys do in that first investigation together? Someone died, and we were hired because the client had strong suspicions of foul play. The damn fox surprised me. I had no idea he knew how to disable and reveal hidden cameras, made maneuvering around a million times easier. In the end, it was because of Javier that we found out the real culprit.
I wonder what Ro's field work was like before Javier joined him. Javier's bedroom door opens and peeks out, just as I'm finishing my toast. His brow raises in curiosity. Oh no, the crumbs! I just thought. He's gonna complain about crumbs, isn't he? I get crumbs everywhere when I eat toast. I always have to sweep or vacuum where I am. This is just where it is. It's rude to talk behind people's backs, especially when you're a guest at their place.
I was just asking about how you and Ro first became investigation partners. Ro was telling me about how you made things easier by disabling cameras and such.
Well, yes, I suppose. I did make things easier. That was my intention of tagging along. Anyway, Ro, I need you to call the department. My access was apparently revoked, and I don't know your details.
All right.
Ro and Javier swap places, and Javier digs around his cupboards. I see you and Ro have invaded my pantry. Feeling a bit guilty, I nod back as he sighs, trying to maintain an innocent look. Do you want some water to wash down the bread you stole from me? Or maybe some horchata? I don't know what that is.
just water would be fine.
He mumbles something to himself as he pours another cup for me. Javier takes out his phone and glances at it before looking at the window. I need to pick up something downstairs. I trust you won't tear down my apartment while I'm gone. I smile at Javier's remark, but my expression fades as I realize he's not joking.
You can count on me.
Good. He didn't mention how long he'd be gone, but I'm assuming he'll be back soon. I get up, decide to walk around the living room, the bookshelves catching my interest. I gleam through the collection, reading it, whatever titles catch my eye. The Science of Social Engineering! How to Win Friends and Influence People! Quantum Physics for Dummies! What a selection. What, no embarrassing light novels? I spend the next few moments seeing if there are any books that I recognize. Nope, looks like we have different tastes. I mean, I don't have books. I don't own any. I have a bookshelf, but it's filled with art books and comic books, and that's about it. Like books with words and stuff? Never heard of them. Huh. What's this down here? I squat down just enough so I'm able to read the title from the spine. Don Quixote? Is that how that's pronounced? I think I've heard about that before. The book seems to be badly damaged, but somehow still intact. Man, Javier sure likes to read. What do you think you're doing? I look over and see the fox dropping his package and rushing towards me, completely consumed with panic. I was just looking to see what kind of books you like to read. The fox wedges himself between me and the bookshelf, frantically checking the conditions of the books. Sorry, I don't usually have visitors. If you're interested in reading something, please let me know, and I'll get it for you.
I didn't touch any of the books, if that's what you're wondering.
My gaze follows Javier back at the package on the floor near the door.
Do you need help with that? What is it?
I don't need to tell you. But if you must know, I'd rather just show you. Javier opens it with his claws, pulls out one large and one small box from within. Here, it's heavy. He passes the smaller, light box to me as he puts away the larger one. I open it and pull out some bottles of chemicals packaged in plastic.
Is this not ninehedrin? Methyl? Violet 10B? Am I saying that right?
Yes, I ordered it to test for paw prints and such, since I was running out.
I thought ARC would have those for you.
We're a private investigation firm, and not a forensics firm. Ah, I got there. Although, we do get subsidized for our own materials.
What about the other box? What's that for?
Oh, is that a little blush? Is that a little blush mark? Wait, am I insane? Am I insane? Give me a minute. Ah, he's a little blush. Just a little bit. As a treat. He brings the box back into view, and I notice him shying away from it. It's an airplane model.
Oh, that's cool. Does it fly?
Some do, but not this one.
How long have you been collecting these?
The ones in my room? Almost 5 years now. You have over 105 years? Javier. Javier, please. Javier. Are you okay? What's with the planes? If you would have said, like, almost my whole life, or like since high school, like, I would have been fine. But hearing it's only been 5 years? Look, it's fine. Like, you're good, but I have so many questions.
Really? That's really neat. Maybe you could show me off. Show some to me later.
Sure thing. I want to ask more, but Rose suddenly appears, looking irritated.
Javier, I'm done.
Ah, okay. The fox looks relieved that we've changed the topic and returns to his room. Please, do not disturb me while I'm in my room. I need to concentrate. You two can use my lab room's laptop to print and review some investigation reports I prepared.
How long are you going to take?
May take until the investigation later this evening.
Oh, fine. And speaking of which, we should get there earlier than planned. I prefer if we could do our own search around first, without Lawrence.
The fox rolls his eyes and waves dismissively at Ro. Fine.
So I guess we should read up on, Javier's reports. Before that, I think I should give you some equipment to better prepare yourself for tonight.
Oh. The wolf's eyes fixate on the bookshelf. His paws glide along the books as if he's looking for a specific one.
Wait!
Oh, I got hiccups. That's annoying.
Javier told me not to touch his bookshelf earlier.
Ro ignores me and continues browsing through his collection, clearly searching for something.
There it is.
He pulls out an inconspicuous book and flips it open to the middle of the book, where it's been hollowed out with a small keycard inside.
What the? Are all the books like this? No, just some. Probably why he didn't want you touching it on your own.
The fox stares at the book cover and chuckles.
How to be likable. Funny he would hollow this out.
Oh, that is that. Do you think Javier read it? That's my question. Ro takes the key and puts the book back, gesturing to the closet by the entrance. I follow him and reveals a small safe behind a curtain of clothes. There's a small click as he opens the safe with the key card and pulls out a small black pouch.
Yeah, here. What is it?
I take the pouch from Rose Paw and notice a unique conjoined circular container inside.
Are these contacts? Oh, do these have some kind of microscopic chip inside that lets me see through walls or something? No. Nothing that high-tech, I'm afraid. These help stabilize light, meaning dark things appear brighter, and bright things appear darker. You should also be resistant to being blinded by light. But these won't help if you decide to stare at the sun.
Oh wait, no, that's not Theodore. Why am I dying? Whoa, it's fine.
But these won't help if you decide to stare at the sun. Do you guys also have these on? No. They're uncomfortable after a while. I figured you might benefit from this since your night vision is better than ours. Thanks. I'll try these on later. Fair enough.
The fox walks towards Javier's lab, patting me on the shoulder as he passes me.
Let's go over Javier's reports. It might take a while. Wait, how long is the report? Usually, 30 pages. You're joking! I wish I was, but it's insightful and I respect him enough to read all of it. Wait here. I'll print it out for us.
Oh, 30 pages can't be that bad, right? It's that bad. Okay, I'm gonna end the part here, everyone, so I'll see you guys around.